literally like a 70-page book. It'll take you 30, 45 minutes. If you're slow at reading like me, it'll take you an hour to read, okay? And the first thing that he mentions in the book on how you can become a millionaire is you have to just believe that you can become a millionaire. You have to think that it's a possibility. And most people, they'll go out through life thinking that it's just not a possibility. Because why? Because we go to school and we get taught to go to school, get good grades, get a good job, you'll make $60,000, $80,000 a year, 40 years down the road, somehow you're gonna retire on less money than you weren't able to make it on prior to that, okay? That's usually the thought process that people get taught growing up, okay? And then it makes sense. If you don't think it's a possibility for you to make $1 million in a year, why would you ever chase after it? Why would you ever pursue something that you don't think that you accomplish, that you can accomplish, that you don't think is a possibility? So the first thing that he talks about is that you just have to believe that it's a possibility. You have to think that it is an option for your life, and he gives examples on how it is an option for your life. And one of the ways that he talks about, starting to think like a millionaire, starting to think that it is an option, is to start looking for prosperity wherever it is that you go. And what does that mean? Start looking, basically, the way I interpret it is start looking for money everywhere that you go. When you're driving around and you see a nice car, you have to think to yourself, someone paid for that car with money. That's an expensive car. That means someone out there has a good amount of money in order to pay for that car. That's prosperity. You see a nice house, that's money. You see multiple houses, you see a nice neighborhood, that's a lot of money back to back to back to back to back. Someone in those houses is making enough money to be able to afford those houses. Why can't I be that person that makes enough money to afford those houses? Okay, you see people riding in first class on a plane. You hear about people going on private jets. Like, why can't that be you? That's prosperity right there. That's money right there. That means it's an option for someone. And success, making a lot of money, it's not just for a certain group of people. It's for whoever it is that goes out there and wants to achieve it. For whoever starts to believe that it is an actual possibility for them. And I remember, I heard that concept years ago when I first got to Dallas, Texas. Keep in mind, I'm from Dane, Ohio, a small little town where there's not that much happening. I moved to Waterloo, Iowa to start, Rob and I moved to Waterloo, Iowa to start this business, which is an even smaller town. It's smaller than the city of Arlington. So think about that. One of the largest towns in the state of Iowa is smaller than the city of Arlington. Okay, there's not much going on there besides a whole bunch of farm. There's not a whole bunch of money. There's not a whole bunch of prosperity there. Okay, and then we moved to Toledo, Ohio, slightly smaller than Dayton, bigger than Waterloo. Again, same thing, not a lot happening there. Okay, we moved to Dallas, Texas, and I remember the first thing I did when I got to Dallas, Texas, I drove around and I just saw multiple nice cars, nice car after nice car after nice car. And I remember thinking to myself, holy fucking shit, there's money in this town. There's money in this city. And there's no reason why I'm not gonna go out there and I'm not gonna get that money. Okay, so that was an eye-opener for me. Like, if you're in Dallas, Texas, you see money everywhere. There's no reason why you can't be one of the people that has that money to be able to afford all those nice things. Okay, the second thing that I think kind of exposed me to the huge opportunity or expanded my thought process on there's more in life is Ralph and I were sitting at a hotel. We were at a leadership conference. We're sitting at a hotel, and a national consultant in our business randomly walks through the hotel that we're at, the same hotel we're at. We had no idea he was even going to be in the city, and he just walks through, and we see him, and we're like, isn't that? We were brand new. We were still kind of new in the business. We were only 1 year in. We barely met this guy, but we see him, and we're like, isn't that Jacob Klein? Like, he's a national in our business, and we're like, I think that is. And we go up to him, and we ask him, and we introduce ourselves, and it ended up being Jacob. Okay, and then we sit down with him for a minute, and Ralph remembered that he had mentioned on the call that he was going to share his first national override check with the organization, with the people on the call. The next time that he got it, he had forgotten to mention it, and Ralph just kind of asked him, hey, do you mind sharing what was your first override check? And he pulls out his phone, and I remember he looks for the email that shows how much his override check is going to be, and he shows it to us, and it was $50,000. Okay, think about that, getting one check, that's $50,000, when most people grow up hoping that they can make $60,000, $80,000 in a year. Who knows what the average household income is in America?
48 grand.
35,000.
30.
A lot of different numbers. I'm gonna highball. The highest I've seen for the average is like 62,000. That's mom, dad, kid, dog, cat. Everyone working combined. $62,000. Okay, that's depressing to think about. There's people here as reps, no college education, no real education, that are gonna make over $60,000 just as reps without getting promoted. Okay, Cynthia, she's made $2,000 week after week after week just as a rep. That's a 6-figure income right there, just as a rep. When she gets promoted, when she's about to get promoted in a couple weeks, okay, her income automatically doubles because she gets paid double per sale. So if she were to keep doing what she was doing as an owner, that's $4,000 every single week that she has the potential to make. She'd automatically double her income by to $200,000 just by continuing to do what she's already doing, okay? And again, all that did was I saw that, Ralph and I saw that $50,000 and we're like, holy fucking shit. Like, it's crazy to think that that's actually a possibility. And he looked at us and he's like, Ralph, I had to keep a really good attitude in the field. And I remember thinking to myself, fuck, like that makes sense because I had read all these success books, all these personal growth books. I had listened to Grant Cardone and they had literally talked about the exact same thing where you have to keep a good attitude. You have to have a good work ethic. Like if you're in the sales industry, you have to be able to take those and not let them affect you. You have to be able to get punched in the face. And Isaiah mentioned that you're in the field for like 4 hours. When we were going through the field, or when Ralph and I were going through the field, when Isaiah first started, and he was going through the field, we were in the field for like 6-7 hours taking notes, okay? Some of us are there for 4 hours, and we're there with 2 other people, and we're goofing off, we're having the time of our life. It's honestly not that bad nowadays when you're going into the field. It shouldn't be too hard to keep a good attitude inside of the field, okay? But that was one of the ways that we got exposed, and then just another story that I really enjoyed, that I want to tell, that I think exposed me at least to more possibility is Khalil and I were in California a couple months ago, and it was right after COVID. The only thing going on was drop shift, so energy wasn't turned on. So I'm not gonna lie, I didn't have anything to do, but I was out in California and we were working the field. I was doing drop shift. When I were out there, we decided to take a day off to go out to there's sort of Pebble Beach.
Oh yeah.
Pebble Beach. It's a really nice golf course, right? They play one of the major golf tournaments throughout the year. They played on Pebble Beach. Right next to Pebble Beach is a really one of the richest neighborhoods that you can find, with some of the most expensive houses on this long, probably like 2 miles long. Okay? Lou and I went through. We parked our cars all the way in the back, and we walked through the whole entire neighborhood. And we got to every single house, and I was looking through because I could barely find the address numbers, and I would look through the address numbers, and I'd look on Zillow, and I would just see the value of the house, and it was millions and millions and millions of dollars. Really nice houses, and I just, I thought that was me exposing myself to bigger things because there's literally millions and millions and millions, like multiple millions of dollars all on one road, and there's none of those houses were for sale. Someone was living in every single one of those houses, and you have to ask yourself, what are these people doing? What's different from them to me? Why can't I achieve what it is that they've achieved? Why can't I have these nice things? Some of them had nice cars. Why can't I have the nice cars? Why can't I have the nice houses? Why can't I live in front of a beach like some of these people are living with a great view? Like if you've ever seen Pebble Beach, it's a beautiful beach. Look it up and it's beautiful. Okay, and imagine living right in front of that. Okay? There's no reason why people can't have that type of lifestyle. Okay? But the issue is if you're not thinking about it, if it's not at the forefront of your mind, if you don't think it's a possibility, you're never going to take the actions that you need to take in order to achieve those types of things. I'm going to look at my notes. Okay. So 2 more things and then I'm done.